Welcome back to Naturally Spiritual, where we correlate the spiritual with the natural. I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Sherry.
And we're still on this Easter series.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday we spoke on Good Friday. Today we're going to speak on reflection and what this Saturday really means after Good Friday.
Right. After this Good Friday, most people consider, the silent day or the rest day,
or the Easter egg hunts. Look,
right.
on Saturdays, that's normally when people do the Easter egg hunt,
right? Right. But originally the Sabbath was considered to be on Saturday.
Right.
However,
look, on Saturday, is that why on Saturdays, you really don't feel like doing anything? Like
right.
Today, I have been struggling. I've been on the couch all day. I had to make myself get up, right?
Right. So spiritually, originally Sabbath was on Saturday.
In tune with Sabbath.
Right, on that Saturday. That's where a lot of people just do their resting and everything on Saturday. But if you think about the resurrection, or the crucifixion, Saturday would be the day that followed the crucifixion. So on this day, it was
and sadness.
Right. But Saturday, I like to think of it of hope day.
Right.
Because on this day was when everything was quiet. It was still.
So I bet they hit a lot of questions. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I bet they hit a lot of questions. Was he?
Was he? Was his word true?
Right.
But also if you think about, say, buyer's remorse. Because on this day, some of those who were held accountable for the crucifixion, they had to be like, what have I done?
Look, to myself, look, what have I taught you guys?
Right.
Look, because I had a whole lot of people, believing that he didn't know, right?
Right, that's so true. Right, so even in that, there was a lot of Christ was put in one grave.
Yes.
And then Joseph, who became a disciple, later came back and and said, hey, I want his body. And so he was moved to a totally different grave.
Right.
So we need to have somebody who will advocate for us.
So true.
And if I can back it up with Matthew 27, 58 and 60, he went to Pilate and begged the body of Jesus.
Joseph.
Right. And then Pilate commanded his body to be delivered. So he was in the initial grave or was still, close by on the cross, because again, this was the Sabbath. So they couldn't do any work on the Sabbath.
Right.
So he was just laying there. And when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth.
Okay.
And laid it in its own new tomb, which he had hewn out in the rock. And he rolled a great stone to the door of the sepulchre, and he departed. So
so Joseph knew, right?
Right. So he knew, and he was one of the ones who believed. As I said, he was a disciple. And so this is kind of the significance of the Easter eggs, if you will. When people go and, hide them in different places like that, because it represents, Christ being in different places, and finding him. And so on this day of rest, it, as I said, I would say hope was introduced,
right?
Because you are hopeful that on this third day, this is the second day.
Said, look, destroy this body, and in 3 days I'll build it back up, right?
Build it back up. So this was so hopeful for a lot of people. So like, if he is true and he is who he said he is, and we know he is, then on this third day, which is that Sunday, right? Anticipation. I'm so ready for this day to come and what that'll mean for me and for us, who believe.
Right.
And then for those ones who were responsible for the crucifixion, they're like, I was wrong. How do I make it right? How do I have atonement?
So self-reflection.
So that self-reflection. But then, in the scripture, there are those who still say, wait a minute now. All of this happened, and I have to stand on what we said it meant, which was, this joker isn't really who he said he was. That I'm saying that's probably how they said it. He's not who he said he was, and they're gonna come to make it look like he really is. That they hid him. They went and found him, and they gonna hide him somewhere else. Right. And so there are those three types of people: those who were hopeful, the new believers, and then those ones who were still gonna stand on what they initially came to believe.
Who were deceitful, right?
Right. And so just on this Saturday, just be cognitive of what everything represents, and even in the quiet, even in the still, there's purpose.
Right, there's purpose.
Right. And so in the natural, just today, just reflect. I know you're probably tired of going from Easter egg hunt to Easter egg hunt, and all of that stuff today. So just sit back, reflect, you know, and think about what tomorrow represents,
Right.
you know, in the natural, and just and get in tune with the spiritual.
Because it's all intertwined, right?
It's all intertwined. And so we just hope on this Saturday you're finding your rest and your peace, because you know tomorrow
a new day.
It's a new day.
Right.
It is a new day. And so we ask, before the night ends, if you don't mind, if you like us,
share us,
you know, leave us some comments, talk to us,
and hit that subscribe button.
Right, bottom right of your screen. Have a good night.